knowing full well that a mother dragon can lay only 3 eggs in her lifetime. The moment he witnessed new life breaking free from its shell, the king still ordered his men to slaughter all 3 dragon hatchlings. The piercing screams instantly roused the ancient dragon slumbering in its lair. Only then did they realize they stood no chance against its wrath. The king, realizing the catastrophe he had unleashed, immediately fell to his knees, begging for the dragon's forgiveness. He pledged to pay any price. Yet the monster deemed crushing this mere insect too merciful. He demanded retribution, the king's 3 daughters as payment. Henceforth, before each new ruler ascended the throne, 3 daughters must be offered to appease the spirits of the slain young dragons. But the dragon underestimated human cunning to preserve the royal bloodline. On the eve of the sacrificial rites, they would deceive innocent maidens into the palace under the guise of marriage. They would feign solemnity during the coronation and hastily complete the wedding ceremony, then swiftly transport the bride to the dragon's lair, mercilessly hurling her off a 1,000-foot cliff. Elodie never dreamed such misfortune would befall her on her wedding day. She let out piercing screams. Fortunately, vines cushioned her fall, sparing her life by the skin of her teeth. Long after Elodie awoke from unconsciousness, she frantically shouted for help toward the cave entrance. Yet this action not only went unanswered, but instead roused a terrifying presence. Daring not linger in the darkness, Elodie scrambled to climb upward. Yet the sheer cliff offered no footholds. Escape seemed as impossible as scaling the heavens. Just as she despaired, a strange sound echoed from the rear cavern. Faint flickering flames crackled in the darkness. Elodie's heart raced at the sight. She cautiously approached the opening to peer inside, then picked up a branch from the ground, intending to investigate further. But upon entering the cave, she discovered a sparrow engulfed in flames, struggling desperately for its life. Elodie immediately used sand to extinguish the flames, but the poor creature still lost its life after its final struggle. As she prepared to bury it, a terrifying roar shattered the silence. A flock of birds, engulfed in flames, screeched as they burst from the darkness, as if they had just endured an unimaginably horrific catastrophe. Elodie watched in stunned bewilderment, utterly baffled. She could only watch as the birds collided wildly before finally settling in silence.
Дай мне силы, мама. Мама.
The sudden commotion sent cold sweat trickling down Elodie's back. Only then did she realize some terrifying creature might lurk in the shadows. Turning to look, she suddenly saw a massive claw sweep across the stone wall. Elodie whipped her head around and fled for her life, hiding behind a stone pillar. She dared not make a sound. Unexpectedly, the monster toyed with her like a cat with a mouse, demanding Elodie's name. It declared it had sensed the royal blood within her veins. This was a debt owed by their ancestors, to be repaid with the lives of their descendants. Only now did Elodie understand why. Before the ritual began, her palm had been cut to mingle her blood with the prince's. The purpose was to deceive the dragon, offering their lives to fill the void.
Теперь, любимая часть. Беги.
Elodie had no time to think. She screamed and fled frantically. The dragon, however, breathes fire with unhurried ease, seeming to revel in the fear emanating from its prey in its final moments. Elodie lifted her skirt and dashed toward the tunnel without regard for anything else. Even when she fell to the ground, she dared not pause for a second. Yet before she could catch her breath, a charred, unrecognizable corpse suddenly appeared before her eyes. It was the girl she had seen in the royal palace. Clearly, they had all been sacrificed into the dragon's lair. Soon, flames swept toward her again. With no escape route left, Elodie scrambled into a narrow opening, though she narrowly avoided death. Her thigh was badly burned by the flames, causing her to scream in agony. What was she to do now?